Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to turn this beautiful little candle wreath into a bridesmaid's bouquet. Or it'd even be nice for a junior bridesmaids or a flower girl. So this candle ring, it's got like a variegated boxwood artificial foliage all the way around it. And I was actually at a hardware store that just happened to have a little home display, and that's where I saw it. So I guess it's true when they say inspiration is everywhere, but as soon as I saw it, I thought, wow, that would be a really cute idea for a bridesmaid's bouquet. So if you've seen any of these that I've made in the past, I like to start off with doing a handle. This way it can be carried nice and straight down the aisle. You can get two hands into this little handle or one, however you want it to be carried. I like to do this type of knot. I'm sure there's a specific name for it, but I like to do that type of knot when dealing with handles because it's nice and tight. I can give it a good tug in between, and I know that it's not going to slip and fall apart. So I don't really care for the knot to be shown. I'm going to work it into the foliage there and kind of glue it onto the back. And you can see the back is just a plastic ring. One thing about this, and I didn't do, was you could add a little bit of weight to it. It is a very light wreath in itself, and then you're adding, well, I'm adding just a few flowers, so it doesn't give too much weight to it to where if there was a breeze, it might kind of lift up or move funny if you're walking down the aisle, if it's an outside wedding. But the main thing that attracted me to this little wreath is one, its size, and two, it has a really great texture to it, and it would yield itself very nicely to just a nice spring wedding with fresh colors. I'm using the whites here. It could even go into the holiday season or over into kind of a frosty winter wedding as well. So you could pick these things up. Like it currently is spring right now, and I think it was part of its kind of spring display. But you can pick things like that up anytime, even if you're going to apply it to a different season. It's just all how you decorate it. So you could add like a little bit of pine, stick with more blue frosty tones if you wanted to, if you were going for something a little bit more into the winter season. But like I said, I'm kind of sticking with a fresh kind of spring. So I'm using the white roses. This will be my kind of counterpoint, the focal point down at the bottom. You'll have the hands at the top, so your eyes will naturally be at the top, and then it will draw down to those flowers there at the bottom. But I do want to bring that white around a little bit too. And then also to break up that texture of the wreath, I'm tucking in some lamb's ear. And this kind of has the same tones as the boxwood itself, so it's not going to stick out too much, but it's going to give a flatter surface. So it kind of break up that busyness that you see, and slow the eye down a little bit. My table there has the option to lift up, and I thought it'd be nice to lift it up so that you can see the front of the bouquet. However, it didn't quite fully work that way. So I'll lift it up periodically as I go along too. But putting in these little pieces of lamb's ear, you could do it just spacing it out evenly on the outside, or you could do it all on the inside, or you could do inside, outside, center. It's however much you want to add, and the shape that you want to make. If I was to add them all on the outside, it would make that wreath a little bit larger. And then, of course, the opposite. If you kind of tuck them on the inside, it'll make it look a little bit smaller, a little bit more closed in. But I went ahead and just kind of dispersed them throughout. I tried to do it evenly. I got kind of blocked by some of the foliage there. It wouldn't let me quite glue it down how I wanted it to. One thing, and you'll see towards the end of this video, is lamb's ear. I love it. I love the texture. I love the color. But it is slippery, so you do have to make sure that it's glued in nice and tight there. I do have some other flowers that I'm going to work around the wreath there too. they're a little bit more on the green side, so they blend in nicely with the wreath, but kind of give it a little depth, breaking up that busyness too. And I'm going to work a little bit of white around as well, but I don't have anything that's going to be compromising that focal point with the 2 roses there. So I just kind of work them out around evenly throughout the wreath, and I want them to flow in the same direction as the other box would. So I'm making sure everything's going in the same direction. Same with the lamb's ear. I can't remember if I mentioned that, but I want everything to flow in a circle. Ooh, I almost lost that one there. So I just kind of placed them where I wanted them, and then I'm going to go through and glue everything in. So we'll just give a little cut to remove some of the stems. You could leave the stems on too. And you can always wire these as well if you didn't want to glue them, or you could do both if you wanted to make sure that everything stays nice and tight. And just work a wire around the flower and then actually attach it to the wreath using the wire as well. If you do that, you want to make sure to cover your mechanics in the back so that no wires are poking through and would hurt anybody or snag anything. So I've got those all glued in there, and now I'm going to work a little bit of ribbon throughout because I kind of want to pull that periwinkle color through. Now this is a different size than the handle. I like the thicker ribbon for the handle. And then the thinner, just kind of a little bit of whimsy, I guess, throughout. I want some tails to hang down, so I'm going to do a little shoelace bow. I'll tie that off with a wire, and then I'll glue that in. I'm only using 1 wire, so I'm just going to trim it down and then hot glue it in. And here's a trick with the wires. If you're gluing into an arrangement, you can just give it a little cut and then make a hook at the end. So it just gives a little bit extra security when you attach it in there. So it has like a little bit of a hook right there, and I'll give it a little bit of some hot glue and then tuck it right into the bottom so it hangs down and you have a nice movement, a little flow with the arrangement. And as you can see, I didn't realize the lamb's ear actually came detached there because it's so soft and smooth that the glue didn't hold it tight to the wreath. So we got those hanging down there, and I will work the thin ribbon throughout the wreath as well. And to do that, I'm just going to work kind of in sections. So I'm just hot gluing one end, and you can watch just tucking it here and there. I don't want it to completely overload the arrangement. So give a little clip. And rather than doing one continual ribbon throughout, I'm just working, like I said, here and there in sections. So I'm going to go opposite side of my flowers there and just kind of do a little bit on the way up. And again, you can wire this as you go. I'm going to hot glue it. I'm just kind of tucking it so that you can get an idea of how I do it, just kind of loosely in and out. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to hot glue everything back in. So we'll speed up past that because that's not fun to watch. There we go. I worked my lamb's ear back in there nice and tight, got my ribbons tucked in, and then we have a sweet little wreath. I did not add any leaves to the back, but you could put some hydrangea leaves to hide the mechanics in the back. But what's fun about this is that you could also use it as a table decoration too. So after the ceremony, you can line up the tables with it. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching.